All right, so welcome to another episode of the Middle Aged Metalhead. Today is going to be a little different. We're doing another interview today, and today I've got the co-owner of Free School Street Records from Kolkata, Aveek Chatterjee, here to talk to us about his journey in music, the record label, his passion for vinyl, and a few other things. So we're in for some interesting conversations today. Aveek, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for bringing me here, and I'll have an opportunity to speak to you. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it, Avi. So, how did your journey as a music lover start? We'll get to the collecting bit later, but where did this love for
Okay.
music come from?
Uh, you can say that I have inherited my love of music from my parents and my elder brother. So we had one Garrett turntable at our place, and which also had a record changer. So my parents and my brother was very into collecting the pop LPs mostly, not much rock into rock, and of course the some Hindi and some Bengali records they used to have. So I was introduced to the music through the records from my childhood only. So, and it was a joy to see the stacking of the 45 RPMs on the Garrett changer
Right.
and just seeing them go one by one. So, in the beginning, I was much into Cliff Richard.
Okay.
That's where my love for Western music or pop music or rock music started. So there was an album called Wait for Sound, which was released in 1981. So that was the first LP I listened to, and then I explored more into Cliff Richard and the Shadows
Okay.
and some other artists and bands. Rock came much later,
Yeah.
so that was the beginning. And then about in 1988, when I was just a kid, my elder brother took me to a concert at Open Air Theatre in Calcutta. That concert, it was a one-day festival, and it had a bill of some fantastic bands, then unknown to me. It had Great Society from Shillong,
Right.
featuring Lou Mazzo, yeah,
Yeah.
and it had the classic lineup, which I came to know later. Then it had Rock Machine,
Yeah.
Indus Creed, and followed by High from Calcutta. I don't know whether you know about High or not, but it's
Oh.
considered to be the most original band from India ever graced India,
Okay.
due to its frontman Dilip Balakrishnan, and they have three rock operas in their credit: uh,
Okay.
White Knight's Tale, yeah, The Tolkien Suit, and Winter Planet. So very original band. Started from 1974 until 1990 when Dilip Balakrishnan passed away due to cancer. But I was lucky to see them live in that concert in the classic lineup. So it had Dilip Balakrishnan. So, and the last was Shiva. Shiva was, very renowned at that time in Calcutta in India.
Yeah.
So that was the first concert, and I was in love with rock music. Especially Rock Machine blew my mind out, and I got to know that before that concert, they have uh, opened for Europe in Bombay.
Right. Yeah.
They were the opening act for Europe. So, and I distinctly remember that they played the uh, classic anthems like Top of the Rock and Rock and Roll Renegade during that concert. So I knew that I had to get that album from somewhere, and fortunately, I was able to find the cassette of Rock and Roll Renegade,
Okay.
which was released on the CBS Records. Now
Right.
it has been taken over by Sony Music.
Yeah.
So that cassette changed my life forever. It had a small lyrics booklet also inside it.
Yeah.
It cost me 30 rupees, and that was my my transition from pop music to rock music, and I never looked back. So till today, I listen to mostly 90% of the times I listen to classic rock
Right.
of 1960s, 70s, and all. But that was the beginning. That was the first rock band I've listened to, and then it was followed by Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, and all the usual stuff like Black
Yeah.
Sabbath. Deep Purple was one of the big influence on me.
Right.
But yes, everything started with Rock Machine in 1988.
Awesome. Okay. So yeah, actually, I think very similar journeys for both of us, because for me, again, it was
Okay.
my dad's record collection, particularly Cliff
Okay.
Richard again, but it was the summer holiday record. And
Okay.
along with that, a lot of Hendrix and Purple that he had. So that's where I
Oh.
went off into hard rock and then, of course, a lot more metal. But yeah, Rock and Roll Renegade, I had the tape too. So yeah, a
Mhm.
lot of similar.
Lot of fond memories also
Oh yeah, definitely.
regarding that
Yeah, yeah,
album. I started following Rock Machine like anything, and
yeah.
in 1990 they released that album, second album called Second Coming. That was
Right.
on Magna Sound level.
Yeah,
That cassette also I got,
yeah,
and then they changed their name to Indus Creed.
yeah,
In 1995 they have released a self-titled album.
yeah,
So that band, changed my life forever. Even though I'm a big fan of, Deep Purple, Pink Floyd,
yeah.
and the other usual stuff like Led
Absolutely. Yeah,
Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, UFO, The Doors, Jefferson Airplane, Grateful Dead, you
yeah,
name it. But yes, everything started with Rock Machine. They had that kind of, the sense of melody and the catchy guitar hooks and the catchy
yeah.
guitar solos and riffs that actually hooked me into them.
Awesome.
Later, I discovered a lot of other Indian bands like High is awesome,
Right.
and then there was a band from Pune called Agni.
Yeah, yeah. Wind Dance
So
with Fire.
yeah, so they Wind Dance with Fire was another great album which had huge influence on me
Oh, okay.
from
Awesome.
Indian perspective only. I'm
Yeah,
talking about. Of course, I was more into Led Zeppelin and Floyd and those kind of things.
yeah.
Guns N' Roses is another one.
Right.
So that is the thing. So I was into all these things like that time the cassettes came in.
Yeah.
So I was buying the cassettes and all. So after that, I used to I started going to Free School Street also at the time, which is a mecca of, collecting the vinyl records and all. And there are also other places in Calcutta called Wellington Square and Chandni Chowk. There also you get the records and all. But for pop, rock, and Western music and all, Free School Streets is the best place to go.
Okay.
So started going there and used to collect some records from there also at that time,
Right.
back in 1990. But mostly the cassettes were available, so I was mostly into cassettes. Then followed by, of course, the advent of the CDs and all. So
Yeah.
the entire the market changed because of that.
Okay.
So yeah,
So when did your love for vinyl start? As in collecting vinyl?
collecting vinyl. See, as I said, I inherited some LPs from my parents,
Right.
but those are mostly pop LPs.
Yeah.
And like in the 1990s, HMV used to have a shop in the Esplanade area of Calcutta. So
Okay.
they had a company showroom.
Okay.
So I used to buy some records from there in the 1990s when I was into IIT. And there were other shops also in the Linksys Street and the nearby Esplanade areas. I remember I used to buy from Harry's Music, which was preferred by my parents also. So a lot of LPs came from there.
Okay.
Then after the CDs came and these digital downloads and all, I suddenly got cut off from vinyl.
Right.
So it was missing for 10, 12 years. Still, I uh, saw the vinyl resurgence in right back in 2012. So there was a now defunct music store in Calcutta called Music World. which was, had chains all over India, like
Absolutely. Yeah.
Planet M and all. So
Yeah.
basically, music world started this chain of music stores, the concept of chain of music stores in India, which was followed by Planet M and other brands also. So Music World store in the Park Street area, which was their main store. So that used to be our pilgrimage. So we
Okay.
used to go there, we used to hang out, used to buy a lot of cassettes and CDs. I remember I picked up the entire first 6, 7 albums of King Crimson on single day. At that time,
Okay.
I was introduced into progressive rock and psychedelic rock. Uh, it was a transition from hard rock and
Right.
the other usual stuff. So I started venturing into progressive rock, various kinds of progressive rock, like the British progressive rock, and then of course there are subgenres like the Canterbury scene
Yeah.
and jazz rock, progressive jazz rock fusion, and all those things. Soft Machine was another band. So, okay, I was deeply into King Crimson, yes, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, the early Genesis, the Peter Gabriel era, not the
Yeah.
Phil Collins era,
Mm.
and Caravan, Camel,
Yeah.
and other bands from a Soft Machine, Gong, Steve Village. So a lot into British progressive and psychedelic rock. Still, I still maintain that till today. I'm mostly into the British rock because I feel that that one country have done the most for the rock music is concerned, and of course the European progressive rock like krautrock from Germany,
Right.
then from other countries like Denmark, Norway, the Scandinavian progressive rock and all from early say 60s, 70s only. I listened to
Yeah.
music only from that era.
Okay.
So I explored them later. So yeah, so those things came in right in 2006, 2009 period because I used to have a blog called Heavy Rock Spectacular, so where
Okay.
people used to share albums on my blog, and I also used to share. So from them, I came to know about this, obscure psychedelic and progressive rock from all across the world, like
Right.
from Japan, even from Latin American countries like Chile, Uruguay,
Mm-hmm.
Argentina.
Yeah.
There are some fantastic progressive and psychedelic albums available, which are at par with the commercially successful bands.
Yeah.
But they're mostly unknown, and a lot of krautrock, Faust, Embryo, then Astra Temple,
Yeah.
uh, and many other bands, Birth Control, Jane. So these are the bands I love. So there was a distinct uh, transition in taste in music. I was mostly into hard rock and mostly into the bands which were commercially successful.
Right.
So, but from 2006, 7 onwards, by again the test started changing.
Yeah.
So I went deeper into progressive and psychedelic genre. So I'm still carrying out because I have almost completed the mainstream acts by 2009, 10 and all.
Right.
So started exploring more music, more
Yeah.
new old music, you can say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after I resumed the vinyl collection, I also started, attending the concerts of various international acts and bands, like especially the ones which I love. I had limited experience in, attending the concerts in India. Like I attended Deep Purple, Uriah, etc. But right from 2014-15, I have started it in a more focused way. So I attended John McLaughlin and the Fourth Dimension in Bombay and Calcutta, and Slash in Bombay, and various other concerts like a Minds the Blues Festival in Bombay, featuring Buddy Guy, John Mayall, Coco Montoya, Kenny and Shepherd, Cave Mo, etc. I also, started attending concerts abroad, Like I attended Judas Priest concert in Singapore, then Guns N' Roses with the classic lineup in Kuala Lumpur. But it's in June 2019 when I attended the King Crimson in concert, and that was a game changer in my life. And it is easily the best concert I ever attended in my life so far. It was just amazing music. And then I went to USA also a couple of times to attend Eric Clapton's Crossroads Guitar Festival in 2019, featuring Eric Clapton himself, Jay Beck, Peter Frampton, then Gabe Moore, and other greats. Then Billy Gibbons also featured, Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top. And then the concerts of The Who, Deep Purple once again in Houston, Iron Maiden, Peter Frampton, the Eagles in Houston, Steve Hackett in Fillmore, Detroit, Leonard Skinner in Savannah, Blue Oyster Cult in Ohio, etc. And then also attended Scorpions and Whitesnake in an Indonesian festival. So all of these were amazing concerts, and it was my pilgrimage to the classic rock bands which I love. And attending these concerts, I still do. I have still planned for this year also. So attending these concerts are my own way of paying tribute to my rock and roll heroes, and I really enjoyed doing that. So, and I would say that it's a very important aspect of my musical journey, apart from just collecting records and CDs and DVDs, and also forming these new independent record level Free School Street Records. The concerts had very good, important, in fact, important impact in my life, and I really enjoyed it. And especially the Crossroads Guitar Festival was one of a kind of experience. I went with Rajiv, stayed at his house in Dallas. It was in Dallas only in 2019. So we went together along with my son, and we really enjoyed the show.
Awesome. So, Free School Street Records, where did this idea come from?
See, as I told you, I revived the vinyl collection, collecting vinyl from 2012.
Right.
I've seen the records coming in the Music World store, and they have also started selling the turntables there. They have tied up with Lenco in Holland,
Right.
and they have started selling the turntables with all the accessories right from 2012. They used to sell three models over there. So I had this Garrett changer and also another Philips turntable, but they were not very good. So Lenco was a modern turntable, but with USB facility to digitize your music. But it was an entry-level turntable. So I got myself one Lenco to see whether I can revive my love for vinyl or not, because I was heavily into CDs. So then again, I started going to Free School Street and started collecting the vinyl. But I resumed this hobby mostly from 2015. So I started buying records from eBay and then from Discogs of late.
Right.
So mostly try to buy, because the albums which I collect, like presently, apart from the usually available ones like Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, Floyd, etc. I have to get the albums of like Jane or Flower Traveling Band from
Right.
Discogs or eBay only, because those
Yeah.
are not available in India. So that I started collecting from 2015 seriously, and grew a collection of about around 2000 plus selfies, which I have right now. Back in 2018, I was I changed my job, and I was in Jamshedpur earlier for
Okay.
about 16 years, and then I came back to my hometown, Calcutta, in 2017. Then I got to know about this a very rare LP, which was a private pressing, Train to Calcutta by Mr. Susmit Bose. So this was the LP which was released in 1978. It was a private pressing. It was pressed by Inreco Pressing Plant, but it was a private pressing, and that album was not available with anyone. It was in high demand. So I personally contacted Mr. Susmit Bose through his website and also through email. And I came to know that he had one version on CD, which was transferred from vinyl, a very scratchy vinyl actually. So I got hold of one copy, but it had a terrible recording
Okay.
sound quality. You could barely listen to the songs, but it was not uh, audible at all properly. But you didn't have any other option. So during that time, or a little before that, I got to know Rajiv, my partner Rajiv Pandey, who is my partner in Free School Street Records. So Rajiv was originally from Calcutta, but he was based in US right now.
Okay.
So for about 30 years. So he was a mad. He is a mad music fan and an avid concert goer.
Right.
So I started interacting with him, and we found a lot of commonality in our musical taste. He also loves Grateful Dead, John McLaughlin, Shakti, Mahavishnu Orchestra, and the other jazz rock fusion acts
Right.
from the early 70s and all. So he's very much deep into John McLaughlin and Miles Davis and John Coltrane, which I explored much later. But I used to love John McLaughlin and Mahavishnu Orchestra and all this stuff. So we had something in common, and I started I started trying to find a vinyl copy of this Train to Calcutta LP.
Okay.
So there was a chance which was an offer was made by Mr. Susmit Bose himself. He said that his sister had a couple of copies. So I grabbed one copy for me and grabbed the other for Rajiv. So and we then started thinking that this album is so much in demand amongst the music fans, but it's not available anywhere.
Right.
Uh, VG Plus copy you'll get in Discogs for about 600 650 euros. Okay. And if you go to Free School Street, there are some sellers who are having it. You will not get it less than 15K or 20K.
Okay.
Just one copy.
Yeah.
But there are music fans who are really keen to have a copy of that LP or in CD format. So I proposed to Rajiv that why not we can do this as a one-off project and get it pressed, because the advantage was it was a private pressing originally. So Mr. Susmit was at the copyright of
Copyright.
all the songs.
Right.
So since we knew him, we didn't have to go anywhere. So
Yeah.
we just spoke to him, and he was a perfect gentleman. So he permitted us to to release the album on vinyl. And then Rajiv and me, we started thinking about thinking that we should release this album and under a level. And for both of us, Preschool Street was the place from where our musical journey started. So we thought that it will be only fair and appropriate to keep the name of the label against Free School Street itself.
Right.
So we called ourselves our label as Free School Street Records, which was immediately identifiable by not only the music fans and the vinyl collectors from Calcutta, but across the entire India. Free School Street is considered to be the pilgrimage by the record collectors of India. Everybody
Right.
knows about it.
Yeah.
So that was the only appropriate name we could found, and we have started on the mastering of the uh, album. So Rajiv is an expert in that particular area. And,
Okay. Great.
so he, yeah, so he mastered the entire audio, and also he created the new artwork also.
Okay.
So the original LP was the LP cover was printed on on a white cover
Right.
with a black and white photo of Mr. Susmit Bose. So the new design, it was on a cream colored background, and we kept the essence of the original album cover and the background also. The back cover also. We actually we have been faithful to the original issue of the album.
Right.
So Rajiv created this beautiful design of the album cover and he for this he had to learn the Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator within just week.
Oh wow.
Within just
Okay.
1 week he had learned everything and he
Yeah.
created this. And we have
Okay.
also created a 4-page insert with one interview of Mr. Susmit Bose on the Rolling Stone India magazine,
Right.
and with a lot of his rare photos, including one from Pete Seeger. He performed with Pete Seeger in Calcutta and abroad.
Wow.
So
Okay.
all those early photos were included,
Yeah.
along with the photo of the original album. So we placed this order with one of the leading pressing plants in Poland.
Okay.
200 copies were pressed, and there was another important tie-up with Manu Trivedi of Revolver Club,
Okay.
because see, all of us are corporate professionals. We are doing this as a passion project or just for the love of music and vinyl.
Right.
So taking the responsibility for shipping and distribution, that was out of our radar. So we didn't have much time. So
Right.
we tied up with Revolver Club as our exclusive record store partner, and Jude was there. So Jude came into picture. So he helped us a lot for shipping and distribution. So 150 copies of the LP out of 200 were sold through Revolver Club. The rest of the 50 copies were with me. So I
Okay.
distributed from Calcutta myself in one of the shops, and as well as some of the record collectors wanted to have the LP directly from me.
Okay.
So, and I'm very proud to say that the the kind of response that we have received from the social media groups of the Revolver Club and beyond, uh, the 200 copies were sold out in just about 1 week,
Wow.
which is really amazing.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And we have ensured that all the LPs were or personally autographed by
Okay.
Mr. Susmit Bose. And we have also given one additional extra album cover for free for framing, and along with a thank you card, and a 4-page insert was also given, as I told you. So it
Wow.
was an excellent reissue, and Rajiv has mastered the audio beautifully. So even the sound quality of this reissue, I can say it very proudly. The sound quality is far better and much fuller from a vinyl point of view than the original release of the album. Because the originally, except for one song, the album was recorded uh, in an ad studio in Delhi. So the
Okay.
sound quality and the equipment was not very good. But Rajiv
Right.
has really has given a Midas touch to this album, and he has mastered the audio beautifully. So it has been received by the fans of Susmit Bose as well as the vinyl collectors very well. And we had a lot of international orders also, about 25, 30 international orders which I personally shipped from Calcutta. So it
Awesome.
was a beautiful experience. And during that time, since we have found some success over there for this release, so we started to think to extend our operation. Initially, we thought that it should be a one-off project. But yes, we have started exploring, started thinking to, release other good albums which are worth uh, uh, to take to a wider audience in India and abroad. So then it has become a permanent project. This Peaceful Street Records. We have number of releases queued up. I just wanted to show you the first release, that is
Yeah.
uh,
Oh,
this is
fantastic.
the
Yeah.
iconic album cover. It was personally autographed by Mr. Susmit Bose,
Right.
and this is the back cover with the thank you card we have included.
Awesome.
And all these, the liner notes and this album cover, it is we have been very faithful to the original issue. So this is the first release, and it will be always, we'll always cherish the fond memories of this.
Absolutely. Looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what's next for the label? I think you're ready to put out your second release now,
We
right?
have, yeah. Parallelly, we have started working with a Greek record label called Cult Rock Classics. I had during my blogging days, I was introduced to a Canadian heavy progressive rock band called Wonka. Someone had
Right.
given me the recording, and I put it up in my blog. And incidentally, what happened? The lead guitarist of the band, Mr. Howard Samuel, he bumped on my blog, and he was very emotional after seeing that I have shared that album on my blog.
Okay.
So and I was also very enthusiastic. So we did a CD reissue of that album in 2007. It was a very basic release. I have mastered the audio. I had given to him and also designed the artwork and all. So he used
Right.
to record them on the blank CDs, the CDRs, and the CDs used to get sold from my blog directly through a PayPal link. So that was my first venture as far as reissues are concerned, the music
Right.
business and all.
And this was in
And all
2007.
the 2007, that first
Wow.
release
Okay.
of the Wonka album. It's called the
Right.
Orange album. Uh, so it has happened. Back in, so that was done in 2007. So after that, when this vinyl resurgence had happened, I thought that why not taking a chance to release it on vinyl itself? But it's an obscure band from Canada, so I thought that the market for release should be Europe and US mostly,
Right.
because in India not much people many people would be aware
Yeah.
of this particular album. So we have collaborated with Cult Rock Classics of uh, of Greece. And incidentally, I came to know that the owner of that label, he also loved that album a lot. So he had
Okay.
a copy, incidentally. So that was due to sheer luck.
Yeah.
So when I told them that I know the lead guitarist and I'm in good touch with him, so he immediately agreed, and for a limited edition vinyl and CD release. So we have done the audio mastering again. It was done in Greece, audio mastering, and the artwork design was done in Greece. But I coordinated between the band and the label because I
Okay.
was representing Peaceful Street Records. So it's a joint release. It was a collaborated release with Peaceful Street Records in association with the Cultural Classics.
Okay.
So I have approved the masters, the audio masters, which was done separately for CD release and the vinyl release.
Right.
So there were two different masters. So
Yeah. So a dedicated vinyl master, basically.
dedicated vinyl master and 300 copies of vinyl, 100 copies on orange vinyl,
Okay.
and 200 copies on black,
Yeah.
and 500 copies of the CD, including the lyrics and the interview I took of Mr. Howard Samuel back in 2007. That included.
Okay.
That was also included with some rare photos and posters also. So I'll just show you a copy of that.
Yeah.
This is the one.
Right. Yeah.
Perfectly original artwork, and
Okay.
this is the back cover.
Yeah.
And I would like to show you the LP. This was pressed in Czechoslovakia.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is the
nice.
one.
Yeah.
So this is the this is the orange vinyl edition. So there are black vinyl also which are available.
Okay.
So this was our second release, and currently we are about to release the album of the debut album Arinjoy Trio. It's a blues band from Calcutta. They have played in Mahindra Blues Festival back in 2019, wherein they have won the blues band competition, and they were asked to open the festival in the garden stage of Mahindra Blues Festival. And in the next year, in 2019, they have opened the Mahindra Blues Festival in the main stage.
Okay.
At the in that year, Charlie Musselwhite, then Brendan Santini, Beth Hurt, they have all the blues legends. They had all come.
Right.
And in 2020 also, the lead guitarist Arinjoy Trio, he was part of the homegrown blues collective led by Rudy Wallen of Soulmate.
Right.
So he played that, and in the All Star Jam, he played with John Mayall, Coco Montaya, and all of them, all the blues legends. So so they are a homegrown band, and I have listened to the album initially. It was launched during the Mahindra Blues Festival by the renowned guitarist Mr. Ehsan Nodani
Okay.
during their opening set. And Rajiv picked up a copy for me because I was not able to attend during that year. So I listened to the album. I really liked it.
Right.
So when we formed the Free School Street Records, we have decided to, support the independent artists of India, independent bands of India. So, and we have decided to pick this particular album for vinyl release. And let me tell you that it's an awesome album. Again, Rajiv has done a fantastic mastering of the video of the audio. He has made a brand new master, like from the mixed file. He has
Right.
taken that and then and then mastered the audio from there. So we have basically worked on the source mix, and then the audio master has been produced, and then we place the order in with one of the leading pressing plants in Austria this time. And just yesterday, I have received the test pressing, and
Awesome.
it sounds awesome. It sounds
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah.
So this time we are pressing 250 copies. We
Okay.
have received the test pressing, and we have approved that. And the tentative release date is in May June 2022. I'll just show you the copy I have received. Incidentally, I have received one sample cover from the printer. I
Okay.
kept the test pressing inside that.
Nice.
The
Yeah.
artwork is really beautiful. Again, we have been faithful to the original artwork.
Right.
So this is the one, and this is the back cover. This will also include a 4-page insert with one poster of the band,
Okay.
and also some photographs and the biography of the band. So that
Great.
will be released in 2022 in the month of May June. And we are also working with another big project, like we'll be releasing the fourth album of the mighty Indus, the rock legends of
Right.
India, who were rock machine earlier. So we are going to release Evolve, the fourth album of them, which is their reunion album, which was released originally in 2012 on Universal Music.
Yeah.
So we are going to release this at the end of this year on.
Wow.
So the
Okay.
work is on. Yeah. So the work is on. and we are mastering the audio and designing the artwork, and we are in touch with the band. So that is up to 2022. We are also planning to release the albums of there are jazz rock fusion bands like Kendraka from Calcutta. Very interesting and very progressive kind of music.
Okay.
And also Bodhisattva Trio, another Calcutta band who travel to Europe every year for playing in their circuit. Kendraka has also played in various countries like Switzerland, then other parts of Europe, in Asian countries and all. And they have 2, 3 live albums from those concerts and 2 studio albums. So we have already spoken to them, and we are going to release at least their studio albums of both Kendraka and Bodhisattva Trio. The talks are on with other bands as well. I think I'll be able to give you some good news once those are fixed.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
that is the plan right
Yeah.
now. We are working on around 10, 15 albums at present, and trying
Wow.
to complete the deal with
Right.
the artists and the band. Yeah.
That's amazing. And are these all, is it like a mix of reissues and new releases? The ones.
Mostly reissues.
Okay.
Mostly reissues. But Arinjoy Trio will be recording their new album
Okay.
very soon, new studio album.
Right.
So I think once we see the response of the fans for
Yeah.
that, I know that it is going to be an awesome album.
Right.
So I think we'll release that album as well on vinyl.
Awesome. Okay.
So mostly reissues as of now.
Right.
Reissues is all of them will be first release on vinyl.
Yeah.
So reissue, but
Yeah.
in the form of vinyl,
Correct.
first release
Yeah.
of vinyl.
Awesome. So busy days ahead for the record label.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see how much time we can extract from our normal 9 to 5
Right.
job.
Yeah.
So, but we promise to give some great music to all the record collectors.
Yeah.
We are an independent level, and we need the support of the record collectors and all. And the thing is that we always work on a very shoestring budget, so
Right.
we cannot
Yeah.
afford to release a bad album on
Yeah.
vinyl. Otherwise, we'll not be able to recover at least our investment in that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That is the prime goal, to recover our investment and to reinvest that amount or
Yeah.
reinvest that money for the next project. There is no commercial. We don't have much of commercial interest
Right. Yeah.
in this particular project or venture. We don't need to, basically. We
Yeah.
just want to honor the good albums, dig them, and to take them to wider audience, so that both the record collectors, the music fans, as well as the bands and artists, they get benefited. And
Yeah.
Especially the bands and the artists who do a lot of hard work to entertain us, and whose music bring us countless hours of joy. So they should get the recognition they deserve. So that is
Absolutely. Yeah.
our prime goal to achieve. Uh, Not much into the commercial benefit or commercial interest. We
Yeah.
just want to recover our original investment. That's it.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know, I mean, in India, completely independent music label that's mostly doing music in English, non-commercial music in English, you can't really have like, you can't be too commercial, right? It has to be for the love of the music and for the fans, sort of something, and for the original artists as well. Like you're giving back to the community, basically.
Yes, because the genres that we are digging are mostly non-mainstream genres in India, as far as India is
Yeah.
concerned, like blues, rock,
Yeah,
we love rock and roll, but it's still a niche sector in India.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
rock, blues, jazz, jazz rock fusion. So we want to, cultivate these artists uh, or bands mainly. Not much into, film or Bollywood or film music stuff at all.
Yeah, awesome.
So we want to take these albums and make them available on vinyl in very good sound quality to the
Yeah,
record collectors.
fantastic. So, next question, maybe sort of halfway between being a music lover and a record label boss. Two dream albums that you would love to reissue that you're not in
One
talks
is
with
of
right
course
now.
it is in our plan, but we have not been able to do it till now. One is of course the reissue of Rock and Roll Renegade,
Yeah,
the first
yeah,
album of Rock
Rock
Machine.
Machine. Yeah.
Yes, that we want to do absolutely. And then uh, there is one band called 1380.
Oh wow.
They
Yes.
were
Yeah.
from they were from Kochi. So they released an album called Ground Zero in 1990, which
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
really liked. And there are fans of that particular album across India, and it was uh, considered to be a cult album like Rock
Yeah.
and Roll Renegade. That album we want to reissue on our vinyl. Uh, the talks are on. It's in our plan, but nothing has happened yet.
Okay.
So we need to take up with the original record label and get it done. Another is as I told you, I love the music of High uh, very much.
Right.
They're from Calcutta, so they released an album on CD called High Again. It was a compilation of all their uh, classic songs on that CD.
Okay.
So Rajiv also loves High, and all the the old timers they are into High a lot. It's a fantastic band and the most original band, the best compositions you can expect. So we want to do that as well. It was originally released on Saregama in 2009.
Right.
Uh, so we want to reissue that album on vinyl, but yes, nothing hasn't happened. And I forgot to tell you that we received permission from Universal Music to release two albums of the Savages
Oh.
on vinyl.
Okay.
The Savages were from Bombay,
Yeah.
and yeah, so they released two albums. One is Savages Live, another was Black Scorpio, both on Polydor level back
You're
in
right.
1973 and
Yeah.
1974, I think. Yeah, so we have received the permission to release those two albums on vinyl. It is again very much of a collector's item.
Right. Wow. That'll be like that's a part of Indian rock history, right?
Yeah, let's see if we are able to do that reissue.
Fantastic. Wow. Okay. This is like really exciting stuff. Yeah. I mean, I'm getting excited sitting here as a fan. You guys must be having a lot of fun with this.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I'm an executive of Atlantic Records or Warner Brothers in a very miniature way
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because I'm dealing with the band, signing the contracts and all,
Yeah.
dealing with them on the mastering of the audio and then designing the vinyl artwork and
Right.
then getting back to Rajiv because Rajiv is our the backbone uh, of our label. He does all the technical things like he does the audio mastering, he does the artwork creation, and he won't let anyone else to do that.
Okay.
So he has his creative control on the audio and the
Right.
artwork design. So I mainly plan for the albums which are required to be reissued. I speak to the bands and
Right.
trying to fix the deal and all with them, and also come up with the development ideas and also do a lot of promotion things and all.
Oh,
And Manu, in this process, Manu supports us with the PR and promotion and the wide network that Revolver Club is having amongst
right.
because the Revolver Club has been responsible for vinyl resurgence across India. They have created this particular vinyl community, and we
Yeah.
should give credit to them. So that network of music fans are very important to us. So it has happened due to Jude and Manu, and he supports us for our releases and all. He's part of Manu is a part of our level only. So so he helps with the promotion and the networking thing.
Yeah.
So so this is the way we have distributed our responsibility for a release.
Awesome. Okay. Now, I know we've only got about 5 minutes left, and we were supposed to talk about your 5 picks for obscure prog and psych records as well. Do you have the time? Do you want to continue, or do you want to catch up some other time?
Yeah. No, we can do that. Yeah.
Okay, great.
See, I have a lot of, as I already told you, that a lot into British progressive rock and European prog and psych music from 1960s and 70s. So I have a lot of records of those bands, even uh, the Japanese progressive and psychedelic music, and a lot of kraut rock from Germany and Scandinavian progressive rock, even from some great albums from South American countries like
Yeah.
Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, and all. So it's very difficult to pick 5 records, but so I just took out an absolute favorite of mine, 5 absolute
Okay.
favorite records.
Cool.
So I just want to show you. This is a masterpiece. Just one word. This album is called "It'll All Work Out in Boomland" by a band called T2. It's
Okay.
a genre-defining album in heavy progressive rock vein, and it was released by Decca in 1990. An absolute masterpiece, and like the songs like "No More White Horses" and "Morning," which takes up 21 minutes of side B,
Okay.
is nothing less than Pink Floyd echoes,
Okay.
if I dare say that.
Yeah.
So this is an album which should be with all the record collectors.
Right.
It's a masterpiece. But
Oh.
that's it. Then this is a band from Scotland called Captain Marriott.
Okay.
So this is a very, very obscure. I think the originally it was pressed some 99 copies. So this is the one. This is a fantastic again with a lot of organ and heavy guitars and flute. The typical combination of the heavy progressive genre. Fantastic album. The next one is absolutely fantastic. Like some band called England, UK, called Granny. Okay, and again, it has been originally pressed 99 copies. You cannot. It's impossible to find the
Right.
original copy. If you see Hans Pakoda's book, so it has been the rarity has been rated 5 stars. That is almost
Oh.
impossible to
Yeah.
get hold of an original copy. So this is a reissue which has been done by the Record Collector magazine of UK.
Okay.
Okay. So this was pressed in 750 copies. Now this has also become very rare.
Huh.
You won't get it anywhere. So this is an exact replica of the original release. This cover that you're seeing
Yeah.
is a hand-pasted cover. That's it. That's all the band could afford. And the backside is blank.
Oh wow.
So they just
Okay.
took a blank white cover and just pasted this photograph. And this record collector's reissue, it comes with a poster and a
Okay.
certificate of authentication.
Right.
And there are 6 songs, absolute blast. Again, very heavy guitars and organ.
Okay.
An excellent album in heavy progressive genre. The next I would like to show is it's a krautrock band from Germany The band is called 2066 and then.
Right.
The reason for the name of the band is that in 1066, the Battle of Waterloo has happened. So they have added another 1,000 years to that, and they named the band. So it's a very peculiar name for a band. It's called 2066 and then. So they released just this one album called Reflections to the Future. It was released, I think, in 1972, and an absolute. You can see the beautiful artwork. It was released in Germany in a very limited quantity, and this was the only album they released. But it's a masterpiece once again. It's a fantastic album, heavy progressive. At that time, the krautrock bands in Germany, they used to have English vocalists because their English pronunciation and all was not up to the standard, up to the mark. So they used to get an English vocalist for their bands, and they used to have love. So this is an album which everyone, I think, should have. Fantastic album.
Awesome.
The last one that you already know, Flower Traveling Band, Saturday.
Yeah.
You know that it's a heavy psychedelic masterpiece. This is an original copy on Atlantic Records.
Seriously,
it's not a reissue. Yeah. So it's one of the rare LPs in my collection for which I, went beyond my limits. I usually refuse to pay very high for the LPs. I try to, content, but for this particular album, yes, I had to go beyond my limits.
Wow.
So that it's a masterpiece.
This is worth it. Yeah, absolutely.
This has only one song, but in 5 parts. Part 1 to part 5. That's it. And it's
fantastic.
Such a beautiful album.
Okay. And this is the original Japanese pressing.
Yeah, this is an original Japanese pressing. Let me show you the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Original Japanese pressing.
Yeah.
I think there has been 1 or 2 pressings on. So it's on Atlantic record.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay. Okay, that's pretty much it from me, Aveek. Thank you so much for your time. I'm not sure.
Thank you so much for giving an opportunity to chat with you.
Not at all. I mean, I'm not sure about you, but I had a blast through this conversation, listening to you talk about the label, about your journey as a music fan, and looking at all those records. Oh my God. It was fantastic for me. Yeah. So
same here, buddy.
So thank you so much. And for everybody watching on YouTube, there'll be links to the record label, to all the artists that Aveek has been talking about in the description. So go out, show some support and love to Free School Street Records, and go like and follow their Facebook page as well. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much, Aveek, again. And
thank you so much for your support, and best of luck for your YouTube channel.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, and likewise, same to you. So have a good evening.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, that was the chat with Aveek Chatterjee of Free School Street Records. Hope you guys stuck all the way through. A fascinating 1-hour talk with the man on his musical journey as a fan, on how the record label started, the different releases they've put out so far. And it almost comes across sort of like what would you call it? Sort of like an archivist of Indian rock, if you will, or Indian music, or Indian Western music. Is that even a thing? But you know what I'm trying to say. And show the label some love. Go like their Facebook page, follow their YouTube channel, and looks like exciting days for the label and some really exciting releases coming up for them. So that's about it for this episode of the Middle-Aged Metalhead. Stay safe. Have a good one.